Welcome back to more Lord of the Rings Online. I'm back here at the top of Nar's Peak, and I got a bunch of quests to turn in. I did them at the beginning of the last episode, but then the tail end of that episode brought me back to... Gosh, what's the name of this town? Lanuk, where I observed the council of whether those people were going to pledge fealty to Isengard or not, and they wisely decided against it, thanks to our intervention in no small part. But let me turn in some of the quests here. And again, this guy has some quests that are more towards book 4, which obviously I haven't started just yet, so I'll come back and pick those up when I'm ready to. Your efforts have been valiant, but I fear these creatures will not be so easily driven forth. Your deeds today mark the starting point of what should become the purging of our ancestral home. With the giants' number diminished at each of these encampments, they should think twice before their invasion. This relic will be well protected, as it is a symbol of our fathers. Each of the recovered relics is a small piece of history reclaimed from the Gunberg and his giant rabble. The Gwibber spread like a plague across Thorscombe, but your efforts will at least slow their growth. Alright, so certainly a lot more quests opened up here. Let me turn chapter 14 in, though.
Ah, you have the ingredients. Good!
I will begin making the brew in just a moment.
I will set about making the brew, if you do not mind waiting.
Let me know if that is fine. So let's go ahead and actually do this.
It will be a few moments.
Find a comfortable place to wait.
While Frithger prepares the brew that will restore the sense of our host, an ancient dwarf who has lived long and seen much, our company decides what should next be done.
The water is boiling already, and now I will add the ingredients you collected. The odor will be quite pungent, so perhaps you should speak with the rest of your friends that have come to Zudrugund while it steeps. The odor is rather unpleasant, though I find that it does clear the cobwebs away when I am feeling under the weather. It will be some time before the brew is ready. Let me speak with some of the rangers here. We are a long way from Evendom, Kippen. I wonder how many our friends are managing in our absence. Calenglad sighs and looks suspiciously at Nar. I understand why we have taken this brief excursion into the hills. For if Nona is satisfied by what we learn here, our dealings with the Ukluth should be made easier. But what can we really learn from this dwarf? He does not seem to even notice us. He's like freaking out back here. But anyways. I do not know what to make of this dwarf, Kippen. Where did all his people go? Why would they leave him behind? And what could he have seen that might leave him so addled? Frigthir seems to be kind-hearted, and it seems to me that Nar will be hard-pressed to survive here for any period of time without him. But there is something not quite right about these two. That was a good one. Ah, you always had the best story, Irvin. No, you go ahead, sir. Yeah, he's quite crazy. He's a cuckoo dwarf here. And is he blind? I don't know. He might be blind. He's a weird guy. For sure. So many books, Kippen, and none of them have taken when Nar's people left him. It puzzles me. It is clear that many dwarves once lived here, but where have they gone and why is a mystery. I suspect that even Frigthir's brew will not clear Nar's mind sufficiently for him to provide us with the answers that we seek. Cave claws here? Are you sure? I have been listening to Nar's rambling, Kippen, and I have managed to piece together some of his history. I believe that he was once servant and friend of Thor, grandfather of Thorin Oakenshield, and this was once one of their homes in exile. Thror did not return to Erebor, but it seems to me that he made another journey, and Nar accompanied him. From his words, I believe they came into danger and... Someone approaches. You, dwarf. Where's the leader of this place? I demand to speak to your chief. Bring me a spare mug, Irvin. Do you mock me? Kippen, what is going on here? Nona listens impatiently as you explain what the situation in Zudrugund seems to be. I want answers for myself. My brother was changed after he came here, and this Nar knows why. He will tell me why, or it will go badly for him. What did you say to my brother, Wadu, when he came here? Wadu? He was a brave dwarf. My brother was not a dwarf. Nar, it is ready. I have this for you. This is strong smelling stuff, is it not? To your health. Ooh, who are you? When did you arrive at my hall? Tell me what you said to my brother. Tell me what you said to Wadu. Nar shakes his head, breathing deeply of the steam billowing out of the mug. Wadu, I know that name. We went to the Fatherlode, where rang the sound of 100 dwarf hammers far below Zudrugund. It is curious, I remember walking with Wadu among the great turning water wheels of the old father, but I have not seen him since. He is not down there still, is he? You tell Nar that Wadu has been slain and his beard creases into a frown. Ah, that is a shame. He was most brave, wasn't he? I can take you to the mine if you'd like. I'm going too, dwarf. I will go with you, Kippen. Are you ready to go to the mines below this hall? Very good, I'm ready to show you the way. Sweet. It's pretty cool mines here. No idea where we are. We are far beneath the earth now, Kippen, and a feeling has been growing in my mind for some time now. I think someone or something has watched as we descended. I cannot pinpoint it, but I believe some intelligence has observed our passage from Zudrugund. Something else has made me uneasy. How much of Frithgeir's brew has Nar already consumed, and how much remains? The dwarf has not been alert for our descent, but what happens when the steaming brew has been exhausted? Ah, just the stuff. Now stop dallying, follow me. We are almost there. So there are some health bars. I'm expecting combat then. How far beneath the earth is this dwarf taking us? Behold, the great wheel of Old Father. I'm ready for battle. Bats! Listen to the sound of these hammers. Keep up the good work, my people. Why did... I am so confused. Why did my gambit reset? That was weird. Why are none of the bats attacking Nar? I do not like this. Why did the bats of this cavern not attack the dwarf? Why does he walk among them without danger? Wadu came into this mine full of fear and uncertainty. What happened here that he emerged from it with courage? Courage that will lead him to his death. The longer this journey takes, the more questions it poses, Kippen. I want to be above ground again in the sunlight. Why, yes. The braids of your beard are particularly well done this day. Is it the smell of the brew that has kept the bats away from attacking Nar? We should hope that it was not, for he seems to have exhausted it. This will shine it up nicely. A few drops may remain, but the odor is much less than it was, and he seems to be falling once more out of awareness. Eladon shakes his head. There's a gate ahead, and I have learned anything of dwarves, it is that such a gate certainly has a lever somewhere to open it. Find the lever and return to us, Kippen, and we will proceed. I fear that this journey will soon end in failure, for without a guide that can speak with us in ways we understand, what can we hope to learn here? There must be a lever somewhere that opens the gate, perhaps high above us. Are not the ways of the dwarves strange? Nar looks around in an interested fashion, but you cannot tell if he sees you at the moment. Okay. I guess let me go explore, see if I can find a lever somewhere. Some cave claws. God, I am lagging again. Problem with lag is that it's hard to build up your gambits. So, looks like the lever's all the way up there. Continue running up. I guess I can take the scaffolding here. There we go, got the lever. The lever squeals in the distance and slides into place. Won't let me jump for a shortcut. Maybe it will. Nope, it won't. Gotta run all the way down. That's fine, I guess. Where did they go? Guess they went down here through the gate. As the gate stands open, but your friends are gone. Are they below? I'm sorry we did not wait, Kippen, but Nar gave a shout and ran forward when the gate opened. And we did not want to lose him. He's just ahead with Nona. Oh man, look at that. Why have you brought us here, dwarf? Do you even remember? Roast mutton? I'm sorry, Nona. He's no longer aware of us. He sees now only distant memories. But why? What was the body of this squibber supposed to tell me? Aye, he was a burned dwarf. I saw him face many fearsome beasts, but none so deadly as that which lived beneath the earth. Did his heart quail in his chest? No, it did not. I cared not for the exploits of some ancient dwarf. Did his axe tremble? It did not. Nona. The wounds of this squibber are still fresh. It has been dead for no longer than a week. Courage rose unbidden in his veins, and he struck the beast once, twice, 3 times. These are sword wounds, not axe wounds. In his own way, I think Nar is telling us two stories, not one. I believe that a dwarf named Hervin slew a great beast beneath the mountains. But I believe too that your brother Wadu found his courage here in the depths and slew his great Gwibber. Wadu, can this be true? My brother, even after terrible things my father said to him, and even after what I said to him, in my frustration, Nona trails off staring at the body of the enormous Gwibber. He mastered his fear, Kippen, and achieved a victory that even the bravest and strongest warriors of the Ukluth could not hope to match. And now he is gone, slain by the enemies who waited in hiding for him to pass, the cowards. They were nothing compared to this great beast, but they laid him low, where even it could not, my Wadu. I know your road, son of Elrond. That way lies death. What did you say? Treachery and deceit. You who walk the paths of the dead, beware. How can you know these things? Answer me, Nar. Answer me. Second from the left? That's what I heard. Aye, slightly underdone. It is hopeless, Kippen. Can you tell me what just happened? How can Nar know the errand of the great company, Kippen? And more than that, how can he know my father's words to my brother and me? How can he know we were considering taking the paths of the dead once we meet with Aragorn? I must tell Halbarad and the other arrangers of this. I think things may have just become more complicated. We must all return to Zudrugund. I do not know what this means, but I fear for every answer we obtain in this place, we have received twice as many questions.
The road of the Grey Company has brought us already over field and under stone, but a gathering dread has settled upon me here in Enedwaith. Who is this dwarf, Nar? How can he know where our road may take us? And I feel this question most sharply of all. Can we trust his words?
Very interesting quest.
Na has often said peculiar things. It is difficult to determine what he means by them.
I do not know, Kippen. He has had an extremely long and extremely painful life, as I understand it, and only faithful Frithgeir remains now to help him continue it. These men with you, these rangers, they seem disturbed by what Nar has said. Can you ease their minds? I fear that they will do him some harm, and I cannot allow that. Okay, let me pick up some of the other quests that he's offering me here as well. Gunberg, the giant chieftain, is supported by 4 powerful thanes. These thanes oversee the other giants and enact his will upon all those who would oppose him. They are powerful and most capable foes. Perhaps if they were laid low, Gunberg's power in the region will be diminished. Would you do this for us? We have very little love of these creatures, nor they for us, though it is said that we are distantly related. Travel south to the ruins there and deal with them, then return here to me. There are 2 larger female Gwibber that have made their home among the hills below. These dreaded beasts are 2 of the more powerful Gwibber and a great threat not only to us but to the men who dwell to the west. They are wily and they lurk in hiding only to emerge when their eggs are disturbed. I would have you seek the clutches of Tentafod and Hersenun and destroy them, lest the Gwibber continue to replenish. These 2 clutches can be found in the far western reaches of Thorskun. Tentafod's clutch can be found on the western border, while Hersenur's clutch might be found on a large standing stone to the west of Tentafod's. Among the old ruins of our home, there are a series of pillars near the entrance to the halls. These pillars are etched with ancient runes. These runes are fine examples of our craftsmanship in the area, and knowledge contained on these pillars cannot be replaced. Will you find these pillars and take rubbings of the runes? That knowledge may be passed down to our future generations. Rune pillars are located among the ruins in the southern hills of Zudrugund.
What can the dwarf have meant by that?
I am completely at a loss, Kippen. How can Nar have known what Elrond said to his sons before we departed Rivendell? And what does it mean that he knows it? Cornir sighs, and you realize that it has become a familiar sound. He catches your look and smiles bitterly. I feel like we are mired in something that we do not fully understand. We cannot afford to ignore this mystery, for it may threaten the very purpose of our journey. But what will we discover? We must take a rest in any event. We can talk this over later, and hope things will be more clear. Are these any good? Not really. I guess I am still like 10 levels ahead, right? I shouldn't expect any good gear. So let's start book 3.
I do not like this.
I do not like this, Kippen. How has Nard come to know of our potential road? That Elrond advised his sons to remember the paths of the dead, for we may have need to walk them, was known to but a few, and all of them trustworthy. Something is not right about this. It will not be long before we must set out again, but in the time that we do have, we must learn what we can about Nar's recent activities. There may be some clue in them to reveal the source of his knowledge concerning our errand. Speak to Frithgeir about Nar. He proved helpful in returning his friend to clarity, short-lived though it was, and may help us again. Very mysterious indeed.
I'm sorry he upset you. Nar means no harm.
Frithgeir listens as you recount Cornir's request to know how about Nar's recent activities. His brow creases in thought, and he is silent for a moment. When he speaks again, his words come slowly, as he is unsure they will be of help. A few days before Wadu, the Dunlington, came to Zudrugund, I noticed that Nar was spending a great deal of time looking through some of the bookshelves for something. I thought it odd, because he generally takes little interest in the books and records here, but he did not speak of it, and I did not ask what drove his examination. I can tell you which section of shelves it was, but there are a lot of books to go through. I do not know if that will be of any assistance, but you are welcome to seek a common thread if it may be of help to you and your friends. Look at the shelves southeast of here, around the illuminated statue. You found some torn pages which seem to have undergone a great deal of use over the last years. The words are very large and every page has an illustration drawn in fanciful style. Kari was a little dwarf smaller than you or me, and wherever Kari went, he took his axe, or 3. 1 axe for his left hand, 1 axe for his right. 1 axe to carve the roast he ate most every night. Now one day, orcs did call. They came right up to the gate. "Come on out," they said. "We'll have a feast, don't be late." The dwarves knew what that meant. They knew it very well. If they went to see the orcs, they'd not hear the dinner bell. Do you know what Kari said? He said it loud and clear. "I will go to see the orcs, and I will give them things to fear." "But you're so little," said the dwarves. They told him not to go, but Kari went. He would not stop, till he faced the orcs below. The orcs laughed. "What can you do? Just hold still, we'll get the skewers." They turned their backs, and that was that. So we call him Kari, or Cure. I messed up the rhyming there at the end. I'm sorry, but anyways. You found a parchment, yellowed and old, tucked away between the covers of a thin book and apparently forgotten. Hail Thrain, King under the mountain. Preparations for leaving the Coombe are well underway, but it will not be long before our people are ready to depart for the Blue Mountains. The great wheels in the depths will turn without them. I wonder for how long. I'm writing this letter to express my concern about Nar. You know as well as anyone the things that he has seen, and his service to your father cannot be questioned. He deserves much better than he has gotten. He seems not even to see me these days. though I must endure the retelling of my own exploits 2, 4, or a dozen years in the past. It makes me sad to think of it now, and his excitement in each recounting the previous one forgotten saddens me all the more. This is why I must ask your permission to remain when the others go. Nar will not go to the Blue Mountains, and I wish to stay here to look out for him. My son, too, wishes to stay. He is young and he knows nothing of our real home. This to him is no exile, but the Blue Mountains would be. I do not want to deprive Frithgeir of the only home he has known. I will do whatever you command, of course, but this is my desire, if it be your wish to grant it. Hervin Drakeslayer. Interesting, so it looks like Hervin was the father of Frithgeir, and they both stayed behind to take care of Nar, who was showing some signs of dementia, before the company left again for the Blue Mountains. A slim book, Herbs and Plant Life in the Combs, is resting atop several others, as if it had been recently removed and carelessly returned to a shelf. It is my hope that these musings on the great variety of plant life found within the comb will be of help to those who, by want or need, find themselves uncertain of an herb's utility or a vegetable's properties. It is clear that such knowledge is fading in my people. Thor has commanded the opening of a new wing in the mines beneath Zudrugund, but my own studies have been a necessity self-directed. I do not complain. The gems that they have taken from the old wings stir my heart as much as they do any of my fellows, but there is much to be learned from the green as there is from the stone. But I ramble, I often do when called upon to defend my interest. This is followed by several pages of notes on various plants that grow on the slopes of Thor's Combe. One of the pages has been turned sideways and earmarked. It catches your eye. The next herb is easily found throughout the combe. Simply follow your nose, and on a day of calm weather, its sweet smell will guide you to the most easily the patches of hulul haraz growing on the grassy slopes. The name, in fact, means sweet water. The Dunlendings with whom I have spoken believe the smell to drive away evil beings. When the herb is crushed and added to water containing the petals of Nijammuju and the fruit of Kibuluz, steeping the solution for an hour procures a strange-smelling brew that I have noted for its ability to provide clarity of thought and heightened reasoning. It does seem that its effectiveness dulls with repeated use, and the brew should therefore not be overused. Interesting. So we only have limited use for the potions that we use on Nar. I guess let me ask him about a few things.
Kari or Kuar? That is one of Frithgeir's favorite stories. How did it go?
Carrie was a little dwarf, smaller than you or me. Nar smiles happily, lost in memories. After a moment, his brow creases. Everyone has gone away now. Fanar, Herluf, and Hervin has gone. Travelers sometimes come by and share a friendly word, but it has been a while since the last. As quickly as the mood came upon him, it passes like a swift storm cloud. Can we call him Carrie Orcure?
Hervin? He's around here somewhere.
He was going to see off the wagons. Oh, there you are. All went well, I take it. Good, good. Pull over a chair and we will sing a song of days gone by. When I was a boy, I knew the sounds of stone, and the hammers in the depths did ring.
The longer it cooks, the tougher it will be.
The first thing you need to remember, friend, is that the longer it cooks, the tougher it will be. Let it taste fire, but not for too long. Frithgeir, come tell Herluf what you said to me about the chops last night. I don't know where he is. Said they were the most tender he's ever tasted, and washed them right down. Would have had more, he would, if I thought to keep the fire going. Herbs, you say? Yes, I season them with a blend of herbs, just a taste. Frithgeir knows a fair bit about herbs and plants. Runs in his family, he says.
You have brought the gemstones? Good, good. These will do very nicely.
Nar nods in your direction for a while, and a wide smile creases in his old face. He seems not to realize that you have brought no gemstones. This is going about as well as you expected.
J.R.R's words remain as cloudy as ever. It was worth trying.
Though it has not borne any fruit. You should go to Kendith at the campsite of the Grey Company in a grove of trees east of Ukluf, village of Lanuk, and tell him that we are no closer to learning why Nar spoke of the past of the dead. Kendith is a master of lore and may have thought of something. Okay, so I think that is going to do it for this episode. And lots of interesting things happening. I'm quite curious as to where the epic storyline is going to be taking us next. And we will continue to find out in the next one, so see you then.